damage and the cleanup, and ahead we'll have more on what you can do to help. Actually, a lot more ahead. But first, he may be the front runner for the Republican presidential nomination, but tonight Mitt Romney says winning Ohio on Tuesday is crucial to his continued path to the White House. In Cincinnati tonight for a rally with supporters ahead of next week's primary. But before taking the stage, he sat down with our own Lance Berry and talked about the polls, now a dead heat, and so much more.
A virtual dead heat, Julie, you're right, but political polls are, as we all know, a bit like political opinions these days. It seems like everyone has them, but you can't deny Mitt Romney's recent rise in Ohio, polling suggesting he has cut into the lead of Senator Rick Santorum with just 2 days before the state's Super Tuesday primary. All in a state that he tells me is as pivotal now as it will likely be come November. It was just one of many topics that we discussed.
I think it's going to probably be close. I hope I'm the one that comes out as the victor with the most delegates. For me, this is about getting the delegates I need to become the nominee. And Tuesday is the big night when we see who gets how many delegates, but I think I'm on the right track. And of course, I'd like a great send-off from the people of Ohio. I don't think President Obama is going to win Ohio in November of 2012. I think people of Ohio have suffered long enough with an economy that took too long to recover.
Will you name some federal programs for us that you view could be eliminated?
There are a number of programs I'd get rid of from the very beginning. Obamacare is the easiest, and that's about $95 billion a year. The Davis-Bacon Act costs us about $10 to $11 billion a year. It assigns union wages to federal work projects. Planned Parenthood, Title X, so to speak, I'd get rid of that. The National Endowment for the Arts and Humanities, Amtrak subsidies, PBS subsidies. These kinds of programs have to be eliminated.
If you were to get to the White House, how do you foresee changing that environment that's described sometimes as being toxic?
You know, the president, when he ran for office, said he would reach across the aisle trying to find accommodation. He said his health care plan, for instance, would be bipartisan. Well, he gave up on all those things. We've got to put away the partisan swords and start working with each other in an America that needs more jobs, needs smaller government, and smaller deficits.
If you receive the nomination, what do you intend to do to galvanize this party to put the Republicans back in the White House?
Well, I can assure you that whoever our nominee is, whether it's me or whether it's one of the other guys, we're going to come together. The Republican people are going to come together and support our nominee because, well, in some respects, because we're so unhappy with President Obama. He's taking this country in a direction which we find to be unacceptable.
What have you learned about yourself and the process as someone who's already been through this process 4 years ago?
I have come to respect even more what it is that is unique about America. As time goes on, I love this country more and more.
Now, I asked Romney if he planned on being in the state of Ohio on Super Tuesday night, which can sometimes be an indication if their internal polling is showing him winning the state. He said he wasn't sure, and if he did really know, he certainly wasn't showing it. It was a busy night for him, in fact. While he was in Cincinnati tonight, he also picked up a double-digit win in the caucuses that were being held in Washington State. Julie?
Yeah, a double for him today. Won the caucuses and got to meet you.
I don't know. I don't know which is a bigger win, but I'm sure he'd say Washington probably is.
Thank you, Lance Berry. Appreciate that tonight. After Lance's interview, Romney and his wife addressed hundreds of his supporters outside the Montgomery and Boathouse. He continued a recent trend of criticizing President Obama instead of his Republican counterparts. Tomorrow he heads to Georgia, but returns to Ohio on Monday for rallies in Canton and in Youngstown. Two other Republican